What was your reaction to the Dallas Mavs securing the #1 overall pick in the 2025 NBA draft? 1.8% chance of getting that #1 pick.
I mean, listen. You trade your asset away, and then the ticket prices go up just randomly. I mean, it was something bigger than what we was all seeing. So, the only thing that made sense was, just from history itself, that it's happened before, and when it happens, you take advantage of it. New owner. Every time there's a new owner, they get rewarded, with the future, and it's business, man. There's nothing really you can take personal about it. It's business.
Negotiations.
Nobody's losing. Nobody can say, oh man,
Well, I'm sure there's a couple teams who may have had higher percentage odds of getting that #1 overall pick that might feel some type of way.
Like who?
Like the Jazz of Utah.
Oh, Jazz gonna get the #1 pick next year.
The Wizards. Your former team.
yeah,
Untold.
Jazz is gonna be happy next year, man. They got the #1 player in the country. It's from Utah. Going to BYU. And,
I forgot about that. Yeah.
But they gotta lose some more.
Just lose a little more.
They just got to lose a little bit more, and then obviously ticket price is going to just randomly go up for no reason, and bang, boom. Because I think he's already put out that if they don't have the #1 pick, he's going to stay back in the college.
So we will stamp this right now at 1:06 p.m. Pacific time, May 13th, the year our Lord 2025. Gilbert Arenas predicting that the Utah Jazz will secure the #1 overall pick in the 2026 NBA draft. If it works out, clip it. If it doesn't, skip it. You know how it goes.
Thinking no Chicago.
This for sure rigged.
You think so?
Yeah.
You can't say that, man.
I think so. I'm just saying from the outside looking in, it just looked like it's all right. Y'all gave away one of y'all best players. All right, we're gonna give y'all something back. Ticket prices is going up.
For sure.
All type of
Ain't
stuff.
no more
so it's
funerals outside.
Somebody coming to somebody big time is coming to Dallas.
So as our producers would like you to know, a 1.8% chance for the Mavs to land that #1 pick. Said that is worse than drawing one card at random from a deck of cards. So if I get you a deck of cards, said Mr. B, pull out the 2 of diamonds.
Right.
And you just said, whoop, here you go. I don't know.
Oh, come on now.
Oh, man, some people win the lotto,
Well,
you never know. And rigged or not, I think it's a good look for the NBA. I think the energy you get a good energy in Dallas, and I think you needed that just for the NBA in general. It's a dark cloud. You hear Nico getting killed everywhere, death threats. And
had a security team, posted up front of the crib, couldn't really move around the Dallas area.
Yeah, and then also, you see the Spurs got the #2 pick. They can play around with that one too with leverage. They already got Wemby over there, Stephon Castle. De'Aaron Fox. So D Fox. So
that's the first time I think I heard you say De'Aaron Fox's name correctly on the show.
So with those 2 picks, I'm just saying there's a lot of big time free agencies that's going to be out there that you can kind of leverage just to see what it is. So,
so that brings me my next question.
Don't trade Nico. Please don't do nothing stupid.
Nico took a lot of heat, seemed to get rewarded. Had to do humiliation sacrifice. Trade Luka away, was getting packed up rather routinely, getting booed at medieval times, amongst other locations. You booing Nico at medieval times. Ain't got nothing to do with basketball.
Medieval times.
Should the Mavs keep this pick or look to package it along with other assets for a proven star player? This brings a question. We've had a lot of discussion about Cooper Flagg. How ready is he to come to the league and contribute right away? But now do you dangle this #1 pick with some of the other assets you have on this roster? There's been names that have been thrown around, the KDs, the Giannis's, other star players around the league that may be on the move.
I'm dangling that pick.
You are?
Yeah.
For what? For who?
The ticket prices is going up, so that means somebody.
For him right now. You don't think
the ticket price is going up for Cooper Flagg in Dallas?
Yes.
Raised ticket prices after they traded Luka. No. They knew something.
No.
I'm not ready.
If I'm Dallas, because Kyrie's probably gonna come back. You got AD, you got Clay, so you can get another. Bro, you can get maybe 2. You can get something crazy, man, for that #1 pick.
Like what? You can't say KD. Don't say KD.
Why not?
It's KD for 2 years. You either get Cooper. See, it's the same kind of So
Cooper and Luka is.
yeah, you get Cooper for what? 15 years. You get KD for 3.
You get Devin Booker.
So you got Kyrie, who has a player option heading into summer. I mean, we've talked about it. We think that he'll probably end up taking that, just given his injury status, or if he does opt out, maybe getting a little bit more of a long-term deal from the Mavs. But seem to be under the impression he's staying in Dallas. Obviously, you have AD under contract through at least 2027. He has a player option that summer. You got Clay under contract through next season. He's got a player option summer 2026. PJ Washington, Gafford,
Nah, I got to keep it. I think this is,
What if you can get Giannis?
you got an American star right now. Could be a superstar, a white American star in Texas. What could be better?
Would you
Could be
trade?
better?
Would you trade the pick to Boston
For who?
Who? For Brown?
for there's Porzingis over there? I mean, what we know for Boston right now at this point, I'm just saying.
What do we know about Boston at this point?
I
Mr. B?
know.
They're still playing basketball.
It's a lot of assets over there. We know.
I'm keeping.
We don't know that for sure.
Yeah, I'm keeping.
We don't know that for sure. But
Saying.
I'm keeping Cooper in Texas.
so you staying with Cooper Flagg if you're the Mavs?
I'm just thinking like the commercials they could get from Cooper.
Yeah.
Budweiser, all the American things
Budweiser,
we got.
mayonnaise, you can get all.
Mayonnaise, mustard, whatever.
Mustard.
It'd be Cooper and mustard bottle. I'm just thinking about all. We've been waiting for this. It's too.
So from Cooper Flagg's standpoint, though, having to come into this Mavs franchise, if they do end up picking him number 1 overall, hold on to that pick, having to replace a guy like Luka, feels like it's going to be a lot of additional added pressure in there, more than what a traditional number 1 pick would necessarily get onto a franchise.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I'd rather be in Dallas than Utah, if anything. I know he probably told the NBA he's gonna stay if Utah get the number 1 pick. So.
I'm not.
I mean, he would be playing alongside with 2 other number 1 picks, Kyrie and AD. So, he'll be playing with vets, playing with, Klay Thompson, NBA champion. So, I mean, at least he would be around vets and guys who's
And he
won.
can get the shots too. Cause no, there's nobody there. Kyrie gonna be hurt. You got AD and who was Clay. So
Yeah.
it's a chance for him to go through the the ups and downs and shoot the ball how he want. He ain't going to no Boston Celtics team like Jason Tatum did. That was a tough team to be on right there.
Well, so let's keep moving. Spurs are nearing a window of potential championship contention with the Wemby emerging as an all-star this season. Obviously, looking to bounce back from a blood clot that prematurely ended this season. Stephon Castle winning Rookie of the Year this year as well. They got a nice, good young core, good nucleus. So what should the Spurs do with the number 2 pick? There's also been talk, again, about some of these same names being on the move. Spurs have a lot of assets, have a lot of cap space.
Yeah.
Things that they can get going.
I mean, if you're gonna put it like that with Coop, then yeah, that would be a good look for Dallas. But for the Spurs, I mean, the room, with the free agencies, with KD out there, Giannis out there, put one of those guys next to Wemby with Stephon Castle and some of those other young guys.
Aaron Fox, that nice crew over there.
Fox, I mean,
Man.
now if I'm them, I'm definitely going out here trying to see what's up.
Trying to see. Have a lot of draft capital. Got the 2 and the 14.
For sure.
Oh, they got 2 and 14?
Oh,
definitely.
yeah. You could get some good with them. Yeah.
At 14.
Tell me something good.
You could fuck around, get a Giannis if you. With
You got a lot of good young talent in the draft too, as well.
It's some good talent. That's what I'm saying.
Bailey
And
Harper, some other guys besides Cooper Flagg.
I would pick
Seems
Harper.
to be a loaded draft class.
I would pick Harper in that if I was the Spurs.
I guess it just relies on the point. Do you want to build this young core now that may need a year or 2 to really start doing it, or you make that De'Aaron Fox move? Seems you're trying to speed up that timeline, get that window open a little bit quicker. Do you now want to bring in a proven star, some high-level vets to come through and help bolster that roster, surround around Wemby?
Definitely a vet.
If you could get the vet you want. If you can't, I'll keep the picks for sure. If you ain't getting like no household name, somebody that's gonna really come in and put y'all over the edge to get that championship, I'll stick with the draft. I'll probably try to move my 14th pick for like a White or something, you know.
So I guess how old is too old for a vet to trade for in this spot? I mean, you guys talk about KD, he's up there in age. You know, we'll venture on to say he's got about 2 to 3 to potentially 4 quality years left, but he is on the older side. So you making that move, it seems like a win now move versus.
I mean, that's 27 a night, man. I don't care what y'all talking about. That's 27 a night, it's top 75, and he definitely gonna get 27, 28 a night. So, I mean, that's one thing he can't do.
But you giving up the second pick for it?
I'm giving up the second pick for somebody that can come in and that's a proven scorer and that can help elevate. So I don't know who that. I don't know who that. Huh?
It would help him being on that team for sure.
I mean, playing with Wemby is. I mean, come on.
For sure, and
for him and Young.
And we've talked about the Spurs window, but you know, it made some improvements this year. Before Wemby going down, they were looking like they could have potentially been in playoff range. They need to make the playoffs next season if Wemby's healthy and the rest of that crew is healthy.
Yes. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mitch
For
Johnson
sure.
taking over, getting the interim tag removed now.
Yeah, they got the talent.
When Wemby went down, what spot was they in? They was like in the 6th spot, right?
They were, I think, like top 8, top 9.
Top 8, something like that.
Yeah, I think with a healthy Wemby, D Fox, yeah, they'll be fine.
And right now, you see like the changes of the times, like a bunch of young teams is going further in the playoffs now. So
the airs are changing.
They right there. You have a Wemby and Giannis or Wemby and KD. I don't see how you not down there in the finals.
So let's shift over to the Sixers. Philly would have lost their pick had it been outside the top 6. Instead, they end up with a 3rd overall pick after injuries derailed their season. Should Philly fans continue to trust the process after landing the top 3 pick? Drafted Jared McCain last year. He was playing well before he got hurt.
What's this process going on? Where Gil and Kenyon at?
That's a great question, Swaggy.
That's the process.
I think Gil knew that you and Kenyon were going to be back on the show today. So he said he wanted to wait a little bit to just make sure everything was all good. You know, he got the doc out.
I did bring the strap.
He didn't want to go back to his old way.
I know what niggas on. Dude.
But no, if I'm Philly, I'm definitely not trusting the process anymore.
Oh, that process is dead.
Yeah, it's over with.
I forgot he played on Philly.
Who?
The process.
Joel Embiid. So does this move make Philly more or less likely to consider moving Embiid this summer?
I think more.
Getting top 3 pick?
Yeah, top 3 pick. And it's a loaded draft. It's going to be some teams that bite for Embiid, you know.
I mean, he can't play, He can only play, 30, 40 games?
He played 39, if I'm not mistaken.
He can't play back-to-back? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what Philly going to do. The first 2 picks is what I'm...
Embiid, 19 games this season.
That's it?
24 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Only played 19, obviously. Dealing with the knee injury.
Good luck.
But you got Maxey, McCain, you got a good young core.
Oh, I forgot, yeah, Maxey, McCain. PG.
If he can
PG
stay
is
healthy.
still over there, huh?
Yeah, PG.
Seems like a lot of teams, this might be one of the most craziest off seasons I think we've seen in a while. Luka got it started to get Black History Month going. You got Jimmy Butler going over to the Warriors, but now it's going to seem like it's going to continue into the summer.
Yeah.
Players unhappy, dealing with different situations. Teams not performing as well as they may have hoped.
Yeah. We say it every year, though, every summer. I mean, but this is the best time of basketball towards the end.
What up?
Ladies and gentlemen, the distinguished gentleman from Oak Cliff, former number 1 pick Kenyon Martin, has returned to the arena.
What up, folk?
What up?
Hey, we appreciate you pulling up.
Man, listen, you know how it go. You playing shit out, then they take it out of your control. I was supposed to land at 10 o'clock, bro. I wasn't supposed to be late.
So we had a, situation Thursday, but as we had to tell viewers over the course of the last couple of days, not a big deal here. We're all family, we're all brothers. Y'all are good. Y'all been teammates before, so nothing new for y'all.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, but whoever put the shit out, you did your job. Whoever clipped it and clipped it again and put it out, because that's all I heard when I was in fucking New York. Like,
You was out
yeah, I was in New York, man, but Yeah, that's all I heard.
Man, that was good.
Yeah, that's all I heard,
ass.
bro.
What
Like,
is that?
that's, like dead ass. Hey, people want me to crash out. Like, nah, that's what we not gonna do. Right? Right? What we not gonna do, people. Like,
It's all love here in Gil's Arena, presented by Underdog. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
So, Cameron, we're talking about the draft lottery. Reset with you.
that thing.
So, what do you think about the Mavs landing the #1 overall pick in the draft? I think they had 1.8% chance.
You took your shades off, so they don't think we was in this bitch boxing, bro. We both got on shades.
Let's see your eye,
Yeah,
man.
let's
Man,
please.
no Aaron
No,
Gordon,
we
no
good.
Aaron Gordon
I
situation.
just noticed that in the morning, like, oh, them niggas full of shit.
Puffy eye.
No, you can put your glass. But wow, I was in New York for the Nets had a watch party.
Okay.
So with me, myself, Derek Cole, McKinney Anderson, Buck Williams, we all was there, and they got the 8th pick. That was a little surprising and shocking for the people in the building, but wow. When they were still on the board at 3, I was like, ain't no way. Right? I like, this not finna happen. Well, guess what?
They did it.
Yeah, they definitely pulled that rabbit at that hat.
They did it.
Very lucky, it seems, especially with everything that went down. Extremely lucky. 1.8% chance.
1.8, bro.
We said Horner, Jazz, and Wizards had a combined 42% chance of.
Yeah, like I knew that it never goes their way.
Yeah.
If you got the worst record, it never goes your way. Yeah. So you might as well go out and play basketball and win. Or try to win at least.
Yeah.
That's what Dallas did. They wasn't just tanking all the way. They tried.
And we talked about that. They're one game away from making the
so-
playoffs. I think Gil was very adamant that they were being extremely stupid by even trying to be in contention.
Well, some would say that the basketball gods rewarded them.
Yeah.
Right? If you ask some people, they would say the basketball gods paid homage to a team that went out there and still tried to compete. Just came up short because your main guy got hurt. I'm saying if Kyrie was there, they probably
Be a different.
in there.
Yeah.
So the basketball gods rewarded them.
Yeah. And obviously, we talked about this Mavs squad 1 year removed from making the NBA Finals. Seems like they would have had a much higher position in the West if Kyrie stays healthy, if AD stays healthy after that Luka trade.
Absolutely.
So this is not a bad team by any stretch of the imagination.
just got
You
better.
have terrible teams, like we talked about, that were probably deserving of getting talent at the highest level that needed
Exercise
it.
that #1 pick.
So what do you do? Do AD stay the floor man, or do AD go to the center and Cooper Flagg go to the floor? Like he said,
Whatever they needed to be, I think.
can Cooper Flagg be the 3? Can he play the 3?
You got PJ Washington still, so
That's-
yeah. You have a big ass lineup like Orlando.
Damn.
That's all that is. But when Kyrie come back, you know what I'm saying, you got that. But yeah, I'm picking him because it's a Tim Duncan situation,
For sure.
right? You got a good team already. You get the #1 pick and you add him, and you're not that far off. So
For sure.
I look at it as that.
It feels very similar. Obviously, Spurs had that nasty year, double injuries. Get #1 pick. You pair up David Robinson, Tim Duncan.
Yeah, they went right after. Did the Spurs have a 1.8 chance too?
I think they had a higher.
Oh,
they were nasty that season.
Oh yeah, they got that bad at the end. Yeah, they got bad halfway through.
Oh, so this season? No, I think it's Spurs. Much
I'm talking about,
higher. Oh, yeah,
this
this season. I thought you were talking about back in the day when they got Duncan.
Yeah, so B said if he the Spurs, he get off the 2nd pick.
Yeah.
Depends
We've
on-
talked about it. Also, if you're the
Depends on
Mavs, too.
what, depends
what I
on
said,
what,
depends on what you
if
get.
it's some
Yeah,
your guy.
yeah.
Hey, for your guy, absolutely, man.
yeah.
Him, and who else don't want to be here? Yeah, absolutely for Giannis.
For sure.
Can you just give up the 2nd and 14th pick for Giannis?
Second, 14, you probably got to throw in
You gotta throw in somebody.
something.
Oh no, he got enough young pieces to
Well,
move that needle, to move any needle with those picks.
probably got to throw in a Castle. You
I'm
got
about
to
to say
throw
you
in
probably have to throw rookie of the year.
Cell. Like, you gonna,
Castle stand. Castle
What you gonna throw?
for Giannis,
Fox is.
I can give you Giannis. You're going to have to come up off something that's going.
Yeah, they got it's gonna be
That's what I'm
Fox
saying.
or Castle. You ain't gonna be able to keep both.
So you get-
Listen, you ain't gonna be able to keep
you gotta
It's gonna be
give one.
both picks,
about to
Castle
say-
or Fox, and one of them other wings But we just hypothetical.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
I can't just take the 2 and 14.
No.
It'll be 2-14,
ain't enough.
but the Spurs have a ton of draft picks down the road as well, so it's going to take about 4 or 5 of them.
They got the cap.
And some current players as well. I mean, De'Aaron Fox may be a name that could sweeten that pot, but Stephon Castle, if I'm the Bucks, maybe I want to go younger, get a guy who I know I can develop, be there for a while. But we were also talking about Sixers landing number 3 pick. So question for you, is Philly a sexy free agent destination right now, or is it a shit show and nobody wants to go? That's why we're asking you, Kenyon. That's why it's a question mark on the end of it.
Who wants to go there?
The process.
Well, shit, that thing still, that circle still loading.
Buffering.
That thing still buffering. Listen, hey, it's still loading. So if I'm free agent, nah.
Okay.
Well, what
Not
do you,
the Philly, nah,
not the
hell
Philly
no.
For what? What they ain't? What is they? You don't know what the future holds, man.
At all.
And Joel
And
can't
it's
play
just
back.
like duels.
That's a tricky situation.
Yeah.
That shit tricky, bruh. All that money spent and nothing to show for it but a 3rd pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, who do you? Nobody that you're going to get is going to go move the needle for them.
Yeah.
Because he ain't going to get no shots. You got McCain coming back, right? Don't forget you got him.
Yep.
He was in running for Rookie of the Year before he got injured. They just shut him down.
TikTok star.
Got Maxey still ball dominant. PG's going to try to prove that he's still who he is. And then if Joel is somewhat healthy, you know what that is. Shit. So then you got the other vets, they go exercise their option to come back. Eric Gordon,
Yeah.
they gonna exercise their option. Drummond,
Oubre.
Gordon, Oubre.
Yeah.
They definitely opting in.
Yeah. They trying
Yeah,
to
so a rookie don't fit nowhere near in that equation, nor does another free agent fit in that equation.
Damn.
Unless you trade.
You expected the Sixers to stay as is or try to make some moves and would Embiid be a
Yes, it would have to. It would be an accumulation of stuff and people moving, and it would have to be. Right? It would be some blockbuster shit going on if they were to get off the 3rd pick and some players and shit like that. That's what I believe.
And what about Embiid specifically? You think Embiid,
I would try if I'm
Sixers to move Embiid?
I would.
Okay. The process.
I would.
Process, cheese.
Like I would. At this point, there's nothing to show for it. Every up is just nothing to go
I
on.
can't keep trusting the process or trying to
Like it
see
just,
what
And
happens.
he can't even play back-to-backs.
Yeah, like
that was last year. I don't know if it'll change because all this time off. Hopefully it helped, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what he needed, right? He needed time off. He needed to go get whatever fixed, do the rehab, and treat it. Not trying to go play in the Olympics, right? We all agreed that was a horrible mistake.
yeah.
Where the hell is Gil?
Gil, like I said, Gil wanted to make sure, before you got here, Gil wanted to make sure that the situation was cooled down.
I was scared.
Gil, man of peace and tranquility now, did not want to go back to his old ways. We didn't need another untold. Okay. We didn't need 2 untold. Untold Shooting Guard streaming on Netflix right now for those who haven't watched it yet. But let's talk about the other side.
Hold on, he'll ride or die, ain't he? Did you ever seen guns in the locker room? No. I'm like, this is just,
A real one. You're a real one, Swag. Yo.
I don't think.
I already walked off. I wouldn't even.
Ray Charles.
Man, I would have man, are you serious? You gonna put me on the spot like that?
Some dumb shit like that.
But it's-
I seen that.
So like we talked about, Mavs hit the jackpot. A couple other teams just got jacked. So none of the teams with the top 3 chances at the number 1 pick ended up inside the top 3 in the draft lottery this season. So in 2019, the league flattened out the lottery odds in an attempt to prevent teams from tanking. KD weighed in on this topic last night with the following tweet. He said, tanking must be really stressful on an organization. So Hornets, Jazz, and Wizards fans might have a different answer, but does it still pay to tank in today's NBA?
It never has.
No.
It never has to go out and lose on purpose, not to put a good product on the floor. When has it panned out? I'll wait on the answer for anybody. Let me know when that has panned out for y'all. Okay, they got Wemby in San Antonio, but they ain't did nothing yet. They had to go out and make a trade, get Fox and other things, but that I don't.
And they really wasn't tanking. They were just bad.
Yeah, they didn't have good picks at times, but I just.
The only team tried to do that was the Clippers, and that's why they're the Clippers.
Yeah. And prior to these draft lottery odds being flattened out
over years, that was just generational tanking.
Right.
They were just 4 years rookie contract, moving on 4 years rookie contract, moving. So that was just year in year out tanking, I guess. But to get to where they are now, I just
prior to the lottery odds being flattened out, you had teams like the Sixers who got Embiid and Ben Simmons as a result of tanking. But this is a different game now. Adam Silver.
What have they got from that? That didn't work out neither. Like, they got a great player. He's a really good basketball player. But that ain't won nothing.
Seems like a message is being sent around the league.
Yeah. It should be.
No, just go. Man, you got to go out and hoop, man. You got to go out and compete. You got to let these dudes, you got to teach these young boys, man. Yeah. Like, it ain't.
And a lot of that be on the coaches, too, though.
That's what they've been told, though.
They getting told from up top.
Put the players
coming
out
from
there.
up here, bro. It's coming from upstairs.
Yeah.
Right? Ownership, management. It's a direct message, man.
Yeah.
So right? Gil made this point on playback last night, and I'm not gonna say I like it, but it's basically if you finish with the worst record, you should automatically get the 6th seed, I think, or the 6th pick or the 7th pick, just to discourage tanking.
Oh yeah.
So make these teams be competitive towards the end of the season, and nobody want to be in that last spot. And actually play like there's no, you finish with the worst record in the league, you're not going to get the number 1 pick.
Or top 5 pick.
Yeah, it seems like, or a top 5 pick. Seems like what's happening anyway. I mean, it feels like it punishes.
Or a top 3 pick.
Yeah, no, that's that. Yeah, I think anything else.
I think it should be something like that, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Like you will be excluded from getting the top 3 pick but then they just to circumvent that, right? All they would do is go out and pick. They got a bunch of young guys. They don't know how to win, right? So we just gonna bring in a bunch of 19, 20-year-old kids that don't know how to play. We're gonna have them under contract. We're gonna pick from other teams, guys, they 13, 14 guy, and that'll be our team.
So we asked the chat, is tanking finished in the NBA? 57% say it is. And for everybody out there, Gear will be here shortly. So we got his spot waiting for him. We let him know that the situation.
But I feel like every team that go through some turmoil will always get the number 1 pick too at the end of
We still have him. I mean, like I said, we
it happened with us too in the Wizards too. After all the youth Netflix story, we got John Wall right after that. So
I think Hornets trade CP3, New Orleans Hornets trade CP3. The Clippers end up getting the number 1 pick. Get the number 1 pick. I believe the year they drafted Zion and they shipped AD off to the Lakers. Like you've seen these moves. It's a little coincidental.
I mean, and then we still don't see
Cleveland,
the ball.
03 gets LeBron. Chicago gets D Rose.
So how we know?
It seems like years the league wants things to work out that way. Obviously, we got the frozen envelope conspiracy with Patrick Ewing back in the day. So I'm just going to reach in here and grab an envelope, and that's how we going to do it. Ooh. Oh, here you go. But
man, that thing used to be a coin flip.
Yeah.
It's still.
That's how the Lakers got magic, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was on that show.
Shout out to Winning Time.
Yeah, Winning Time.
Great show on HBO. But let's keep this thing moving. Today's podcast is brought